Since opening Mike's Minuteman in 1948, our founder, Joe Dahm, has made a tremendous impact on many people's lives. Today, as we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we wanted to share some of the ways Joe has shaped our business. Please enjoy these stories, moments, and memories that Joe has created that have helped us achieve our success.
Dad, thank you for opening the first Mike's Car Wash 70 years ago in 1948. Today, Crew and Mike's are much larger in size, but we still follow the guiding principles that we learned from you and Uncle Ed. Number one, treat all associates with respect. Every job at the car wash is important. Number two, the customer is the real boss. They truly make it possible for you to pay all your bills. Number three, customers really don't care how long you've been in business. They are much more concerned about the value and the quality of the car wash they paid for today. Number four, always remember, we're really in the people business. We just happen to wash cars. And the final one, last but not least, God, family, business, in that order.
Hi, Grandpa. I am so blessed to have had the opportunity to work at the car wash for over 10 years now. I receive weekly phone calls at the front desk from customers praising our employees. You have always said, treat the customer how you want to be treated. I think that we excel in this. Unknowingly, you have been a mentor to all of us, and we will pass along your meaningful sayings, your values, and your work ethics to our kids.
There are so many different ways my grandpa has shaped what the car wash is today and who I am as a person. When it comes to the customer experience, there's no one more focused on that than him. He often says feedback is a gift, especially the opportunities. His famous line is, "We like fussy customers," and he really, really means it. He has taught us all so much over the years, and the foundation of who we are is because of him and his brother Ed.
Whenever he would come to our store, he would take you by the arm, take you around the location, and have you look at things through the customer's perspective, and just make sure that you had that perspective and you had that view of what the customer sees when they come onto the lot.
Joe Dahm, 21 years ago. 21 years ago, I started with Crew Car Wash, and Joe took me around, grabbed me right behind my elbow, walked me right out, showed me the yellow flowers, the orange flowers, showed me around the store. But there wasn't a customer that Joe didn't go up, shake his hand, ask how his wash was. Then when he was all done with that, before he left, he would go up, shake all the hands of all the team members. He would go up to them, "Hey, you look great, keep smiling. Love what you do. Do you love what you do? Because if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life."
I started with Mike's when I was 15 years old, and all my early interactions with Joe were just top notch. He was always a real friendly person, always shake your hand. The one thing I can always remember about Joe is he'd always mention that the customer's last visit was the most important. So it really made you think about, what can you do to impact the customer on each visit?
He always taught us to ask the question, what are the customers thinking? Who cares what we think? What are the customers thinking? Are the cars clean? Are the kids happy? Are the locations clean? It was these key questions and his commitment to making those items better every day is what made Crew so successful.
When I first started here as a manager, Joe would always give us a call, usually on a Sunday morning, and I figured that he was looking for some information on how we were doing at the location, give him some numbers and things like that. But Joe would always stop me and just say, "Hey Monty, I just called to see how you and your family were doing," which always meant an awful lot to me, made me feel good. I knew it was more than just a business here. It was about family and about the people.
My best recollection of Joe Dahm would be at the Fort Wayne office. When Joe was there, he pulled me aside and was a coach, was a mentor, reminded me that we were here to serve the customer, reminded me that it was the customer that paid the bills, and to thank the customer for our jobs.
Okay, well, I started working with Mike's Car Wash in 1974, and some of the things I remember Joe saying, one was, do something you enjoy and you'll never work a day in your life. And he also said, if you hire good people, you attract good people. And I think that's part of the reason why I've been around Mike's and Crew Car Wash for so many years, is because Joe set up that foundation of hiring such good people. And because I work with such good people, it's caused me to be able to say that I don't work a day in my life. I honestly feel that after all these years, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I would still continue to do what I do, and that's because I work with so many great people.
Probably my biggest lesson I learned from Joe was also one of my first memories of Joe when I first became a manager back when we were Mike's Car Wash. It was one of those days where we had big rushes of customers and you have a little bit of a lull and you'd kind of stand around a little bit till the next rush came, and he happened to pull up during one of those lulls. And I'm standing there talking to a couple of our team members, and Joe gets out of his car. You see him out in the parking lot, and he gets out and does his normal, real friendly kind of wave to you as he pulls onto the lot. Then he proceeds to pick up every cigarette butt and piece of paper between his car and us. Well, if you're standing there doing nothing at the time, what do? All of a sudden it became this game of, hey, beat Joe to that piece of paper or that cigarette butt. So the big thing I learned from that stuck with me to this day is people follow more what you do as a leader than what you say. It's all about leading by example, and Joe Dahm certainly did that all the years that I had the opportunity to work with Joe, and it really has helped mold the kind of leader that I am today.
The first thing that comes to mind to me about Joe Dahm is God, family, work, in that order. I think we've all heard that from Joe so many times, and Joe doesn't just say it. I mean, he really lives his life with that prioritization. In terms of God, he's an incredibly faithful man. He attends church just about every day of his life, and each time that I have a conversation with Joe Dahm, he always finishes with, hey Billy, I'm going to say a prayer for your dad Jim. And I know that he means it. Family, I think he gets his greatest joy in life when he is surrounded by his family. 9 kids, his bride Dean of 68 years, and countless grandkids and great-grandchildren. Kimberly and I, we love receiving the Christmas card every year, the Dahm family Christmas card. There's probably 100 people in the picture, and the smiles on Joe and Dean's faces they're priceless. And then work. Joe was so ahead of his time and ahead of our industry with his focus on the people side of business and the people side of car washing. Joe was always concerned and made sure that he was taking great care of his team members and inspired all the leaders at Mike's now crew to do the same. And then relentless focus on customer value and customer satisfaction.
Dad, you've been a great mentor, and all of us at Crew and Mike's are better leaders thanks to your example. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, and I love you, Grandpa.
Thank you, Grandpa, for all the wisdom and genuine passion you have always had for the car wash, the team, our customers, and our family.
Thanks, Joe.
Joe, thank you for everything you've done for Crew Car Wash, but also for me and my family.
I just want to thank you, Joe, for all the work you've given to Mike's and to Crew. You've impacted my career immensely.
Thank you, Joe, and congratulations on Crew's 70th year in business. You have made a positive impact on many lives, including mine. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe, for all that you've done for Crew Car Wash and the people around you.
Thank you so much, Joe Dahm. You are the reason why we have jobs, and thank you so much.
I just again want to say thanks, Joe, for 40 years of great times, wonderful memories, and wonderful opportunities.
Joe, thank you so much for laying the foundation that has made us the success we are today at Crew.
Joe, you have been an inspiration in my life and my family's life and the lives of so many others. Thank you for everything that you have done for so many.